Good morning. It is Friday morning. It is October 28th, just after 8 o'clock in the morning. I am first warning meteorologist Eric Burris. This is Coffee Talk, where we get together 7 days a week, chat about what's going on in the world of weather, hopefully getting your day started off on the right note. Just a reminder, if you miss us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, you can also get us as a podcast on Apple Music, Spotify, and the iHeart app. So, Coffee Talk, like Visa, everywhere you want to be, right? At least that's the cheesy way of putting it. All right, top two things we're monitoring. It is a soggy start. I had over almost an inch and a half at my house since midnight, and I had an inch and a half yesterday. Wow. How about that? A lot of rain has fallen, and certainly we are still seeing it in some spots. So we'll look ahead to that. We'll also look ahead to your weekend plans because the weather patterns are changing, and we want to make sure neighborhood by neighborhood, everybody knows what to expect over the next couple of days. Yeah. It's Friday after all, right? Got to make sure you are taken care of. Let's look outside live. Again, with our Ocala Tower cam. Somebody just needs to turn this thing a little bit on its axis. It is a gray start to the day up that way. Not any kind of a chill in the atmosphere. Let's take a look at first warning live Doppler radar. And at least up that direction, we are relatively quiet. We are tracking a little bit of rain around Lake Weir, Weirsdale, Bellevue area. Let's zoom in on our first warning live Doppler radar, and you kind of see it working its way up toward Ocala, working right up 464, working right up 27. It's weakening as it does so. Certainly no concern for strong storms, but there is certainly some rain there. Let's come over here to Volusia County, Flagler County, watching some little waves of energy. Heaviest stuff is up around Holly Hill. Corona, Painters Hill will be working up to Flagler Beach shortly. Watching a little bit of rain up around Marineland here in northern Flagler, moving out. A couple of popcorn showers developing around Palm Coast, but relatively quiet across the metro area, though it had rained and rained and rained overnight, right? So that gradually coming to an end. Now, coming over here to Brevard County, a little bit of rain showing up here just off the shoreline. Maybe that's going to try and push in around the Kennedy Space Center, Cape Canaveral Space Force Station, but at least at the moment, we are relatively quiet. Let's look outside, shall we? Temperatures in the upper 60s for Palm Bay. It is lower 70s in Palm Coast. 71 degrees in Titusville, 73 degrees in New Smyrna Beach, and 73 degrees in Orlando. So that's kind of the overall setup for today. What about the forecast? Once again today, could be talking about some passing showers from time to time. 20% coverage, 10% coverage. So the rain chances dial down. And then into the afternoon, they dial back up. Not as high as they were, but 20-30% coverage of rain is kind of where we're looking today. Not a bad day at all. Just a little bit of shower activity to deal with. So, yeah. Not too bad. How's everybody doing this morning? All right, time to read some comments. My apologies. I promise I've not been going out of my way to ignore you. Frank, good morning to you. Excuse me, I need some coffee. Marissa, good morning to you. Nicole, how are you? Mickey says, morning, got over an inch in Eustis last night, according to my Tempest. Yeah, let me check my Tempest. Coffee Talk, by the way, not sponsored by Tempest, although ironically, I'm using my Yeti today. It's just the weather station that I think is the coolest thing on earth. But I paid for mine, and this Yeti I paid for, so don't think that I'm doing any kind of advertising. All right, let's see here. I got 1.39 today, 1.43 yesterday. So yeah, closing in on 3 inches of rain here in the last 24 hours at least. We'll have to check some rainfall numbers around town, shall we? Let's look. Before we move on to setting up more of the stage. Now, these are some rainfall. We'll just start here. These are some rainfall numbers from earlier. Yeah, Bertha 3.6, Tuscaloosa 3.3. That's not far from where I live. So makes sense that I got almost 3 inches at my house. I grew up in the Bertha area. Ironically, didn't know it was called Bertha. Audubon Park, Fairview Shores, look at that. 4 inches of rain. Maitland, 2 inches and a quarter. So yeah, now official numbers, if I can find them. Official numbers. There we are. Does this work? That's not going to work. This one will work. I'm just looking for rain, 24-hour rain. Yeah, that's not going to work either. So ignore that. You get the idea, though. We've seen some decent rain amounts. What about at your house? What have you seen? Brian, morning to you. How are you, buddy? Julie, good morning to you. Beverly, buenos dias. ¿Cómo está? How are you? Catherine, good morning. Good morning. Jan, good morning. Good morning. No rain in St. Cloud, Barbara. Isn't it funny how it's that feast or famine effect? Here's a look at the satellite and radar, and you can just kind of see that cluster of stormy weather. It's like it fired up literally right over my house. Like I woke up in the middle of the night. I didn't sleep very well to begin with last night, but woke up, heard it pouring, and it's just like, oh, it's pouring outside. Okay, there's that. Good times. Tina, good morning. 2 coffees, please. Yeah, I'm just drinking one. Chris says, man, it poured here in East Orlando last night. It did. Allison says, just woke up. Ask me in 10 minutes. Understood. Nancy says, finally slept at the new house last night. I moved in. Congratulations, boy. I'm not jealous of all that work that you've just put in. That I can promise you. Not jealous at all. Coffee Talk completely self-sponsored by Eric Burris, except for the use of the equipment at West. Yeah, it's true. I mean, the computer I'm talking to, I bought the microphone, I bought that webcam, I bought this computer. Now, the weather system at work, which is not cheap, that's a Wesh one. The data feed, that's a Wesh one. The stock images that I turn into backgrounds, I put the work in. Ted says, 3/4 of an inch just about downtown DeLand this morning. Very good, sir. Good morning. Good morning to you. How are ya? Rain, some thunder, Beverly says. So if you're heading to the attractions today, the good news is we're watching that lingering rain this morning, but through the day, it kind of clears out, and then we'll get into a bit of an active stretch once again this afternoon. We've got enough moisture in play that we get that heat building, and we'll see some showers and thunder showers getting going. So there's that. John, good morning. When's our next cold front and cooler temps heading our way? Well, I've got it dialed up for the tropics, but we can step away from the tropics for a moment. And we can at least look at just some data. GFS temperature. Yeah. All right, so here's the GFS temps. Let me just pop this out so that you can see it. All right, so this is a meteogram. What? Oh, okay. Well, I didn't want that anyway. Hold on a second. I clicked the wrong thing. There we are. Okay. Let me just make this smaller so that you can see. Okay, that's Orlando International Airport. Perfect. All right, so that's a meteogram for Orlando International Airport, and this is just the raw GFS numbers. So when are we going to be getting cool? Well, notice I had said earlier this week when I was chatting on West News Sunrise about like the 4th, 5th, 6th having a front. And like a mini front, but it looks like, the models kind of kicked the can down the curve. November 8th is at least right now kind of what we're looking at, and then perhaps around November 13th. Again, that's just one model run of the GFS. If we look 2 model runs back, you can see the dramatic difference there. High of 62 on Tuesday, November 8th versus current model run, November 8th, instead of 62 at 74. So that's why you don't trust one model run. You always look at the trends, and the trends are not favorable, at least at the moment, for a nice big push of cooler air. Latasha's asking, will there be any cooler temperatures for the Bahamas? I mean, we're struggling to get it here in Central Florida. We need it to slam through Central Florida before we can get it comfortably down to the Bahamas. So at the moment, we're not, as they say, don't hold your breath. At least for the short term, at least for the short term. Aaron says, I'm working at Epcot today, bright and sunny right now. I love that. Can I go play at Epcot? If you're going to Epcot, by the way, today, the forecast looking great as well. We've got a lot of events going on in Central Florida this weekend, so let's chat about a couple of them. First off, obviously food and wine and all of that fun stuff, but we also have things like Monster Jam going on over at Camping World. Yeah, you heading over to Monster Jam? Aside from a stray shower, temperatures are looking absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Yep. There's also, all kinds of fall festivals and things like that. Claremont has theirs on Saturday, and it looks great. Temperatures climbing into the lower range of the 80s. Then on Saturday, there's a little football game happening. I don't know if you're aware about it. The Bearcats coming to town. It's UCF homecoming. My friends, this is going to be a great football game. This is going to be a great forecast. We must fill the bounce house. And of course, I have another event that I'm at. I can't go to this one. Oh. We must fill the bounce house. If I if I hadn't have committed, I would be at the bounce house. I wouldn't be screaming because I can't lose my voice, but I would at least be like clapping and stomping and, So, people, do not let any empty ticket go unsold. They're affordable. Listen, I'm a cheap seats advocate. Get you in there. Get you cheering. Go, 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 go. We have to fill the bounce house. We have to fill the bounce house. All right? So let's do that. Let's do that. We need the W. We need it. We must. Please. Brian's asking, any updates for Artemis? I believe it's November 14th. Let me double check. Yeah, November 14th, which is a 12:07 a.m. Monday morning, like just after midnight. Yeah. So, come November 14th, we're going to be going crazy with coverage. You know. Let's see here. What's the bounce house? That's the stadium. It's technically FBC Mortgage Stadium, but since they don't pay me to say the naming rights, I'm going to call it the bounce house. Dana, where do you buy your cheap seats? Honestly, I've done the UCF app, and I've also done, and I was very leery about this. And Dana, I can't say that I would always have a positive experience because I can't promise that, but I'm in a bunch of UCF fan groups. Well, I'm in one in particular, but I saw somebody was selling tickets, and they were in the section that I wanted to be, and I think I'm going to get season tickets for next year. And so I looked her up on the Facebook, and so not only did we have a ton of mutual friends together, but we went to Lake Howell High School. And I said to myself, okay, then maybe she's not going to scam me. Let me just, I need to close my blinds because the light is streaming in like crazy, and it's making it all look bad. All right, sorry about that. So I reached out to her through the Facebook marketplace, and I said, the only reason that I'm trusting this is because we have a bunch of mutual friends, and I feel like if you were going to scam me, yada 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 yada. So I reached out to her. She did not scam me. So, but that's what I've done. Is the game going to be on TV? I believe it is. Stand by. UCF football. 3:30 kick. TV and streaming. ESPN. Yep. ESPN. Jerry says that's what I loved about college band, getting to go to the games for free and being a part of the show. Oh, agreed. I had my 4 years in the UCF marching band. Loved it. Loved it. Loved it. Loved it. Kim, is UCF playing Navy? I believe it's the next home game is Navy, which I should be at. Yeah, I believe the next home game is Navy. So we've got at Memphis. Ugh, that's going to be a tough one. At Tulane. That's going to be a tough one. And then home at Navy. And then away at South Florida, which away at South Florida is essentially a home game, just with a different looking stadium. You know what I mean? Let's see here. You got a spammer in the house? I must have blocked the spammer because I don't even see the... I must have blocked the spammer a while ago because I don't even see the posts. True story. True story. My apologies. Danya says, I'll root for UCF since I live here now, but only as a secondary team. Auburn has my heart. Well, listen, our head coach came from Auburn, so you go for it. You cheer. Justine says, my son is a marching knight. I'll be watching from Michigan. Justine, very cool. Listen, former marching knight here. My college experience was made thanks to the UCF marching band. And if you hang out in Coffee Talk long enough, you'll see me in my UCF uniform, which is now on my shelf in my office. They turned it into a pillow. I'm looking at my old marching knight uniform. Hey, buddy. Jeannie, did I miss the tropics? You did not. Mike, good morning. Love spammers and haters. Hey, man. What do they say? No publicity is bad publicity? Right? I don't know. All right, let's see here. All right, so there's that. Any questions, comments, concerns? Otherwise, we can move on to the tropics. Any questions, comments, concerns? Oh, Carol's asking to see the pill. All right, you're going to make me go grab the pill. Okay, hold on a second. Ugh. They dry cleaned it, thankfully, before they turned it into a pillow. But this is my old UCF marching uniform. Smells fresh, yeah. So it sits in my office. It's a little dusty. But this is perhaps my most favorite, truly my most favorite random possession I own. I love this thing. It's so random, and it's on my shelf. You know, it's funny. You don't see it because it's a little high up on the bookshelf. When I get rid of all my trash in my office, I'll be able to turn the desk back to face the bookshelf. But you don't see it because it's like on the top shelf. But I see it. So anyway, yeah, that's my band uniform. Rosebud, pillow talk, right? Y'all are gonna get me in trouble. Nikki says that's a really cool idea to preserve your band memories, right? Debbie, they actually let you keep the uniform? No. But when they moved to the next generation of uniforms, that was when they turned them into pillows. And I had the opportunity to grab one. I mean, I had to buy it, don't get me wrong, but it was kind of cool. So the band made it. Yeah, I don't know what company they used, but the band made it. All right. What instruments did I play? Baritone. All right, enough about me, people. You're not here to talk about me, for goodness sake. Let's talk about the tropics. Little piece of energy. This is, give you an idea, Turks and Caicos there, Dominican Republic, Haiti there. Little piece of energy out here as it kind of lifts to the north. Low-end chance that it tries to do something out there. Not a big concern. So there's that. That's a nice memory pillow. Carol, right? Oh, love it. Kathy says, we didn't get our MK totes yet. When did the pillow come in? Oh, this pillow's from years ago. I mean, this pillow's from years ago. They've already retired. So the uniform that came after this, they've already retired. They're already up to the next. So I don't even know. I love it, though. I love it. Okay, so this one, not really looking to do much. You can see it's an old elongated trough, not really much going on there. So that we'll just watch, no big deal. All right, now let's head to the Caribbean. Water temperatures here still in the mid and upper 80s, still plenty of fuel to get things going. And you can see there's actually a pretty decent amount of convection out here near the islands. Now, as this works into the Caribbean, we're calling a high now, a high opportunity for tropical development, 60% over the next 5 days. Actually, it's 70%. Why did we not update this, Kellyanne? Stand by. Stand by. I'm like, those are not right numbers. 20, stand by. Because I can tell you why she didn't update it. Because she's got 6,000 weather hits. 20, 70. Enter, save. Can we try that again? Can we try that again? We're going to try that again. All right. Then there's this other system down in the Caribbean, or working into the Caribbean, that we're watching. It now has a high 70% chance of getting going. We do expect that this is going to become something. The models the last couple of days have really been trying to develop it and then not really get going much. So let's take a look at the computer models as they play out. Don't need that anymore. Switch over to this. All right, we'll start with the American GFS model. Nikki says, and Kellyanne knew you would fix it. Ain't that the truth? That's what always happens. I always text Kellyanne. I'm like, hey, I just updated XYZ graphic. I'm really sorry. And she's like, why would you say sorry? And I said, well, because it's your show and I don't want to get in the way. And she's like, but you're helping me. So anyway, all right, GFS model. Let's take a look. I'm going to scroll down. So you're not going to see the timestamp, but I see it on my screen. So I can guide you through it. All right. All right. So there's that little thing. If you're listening, little thing near the Bermuda area. And there's the area in the Caribbean. This is current image. So we'll just go through time. Maybe something develops near Bermuda. Not a big concern. Watching, though, pressure's trying to lower here in the Caribbean. This is Sunday 15Z. So that's Sunday at 11 a.m. Something trying to develop in the Caribbean. All right. So, yeah, we do think something will get going. Is it to be named? Not 100% sure, but we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. Watching through time. Kind of fades out in the Caribbean. So, again, it gets pulsed up and pulsed down. It's kind of like high school relationships, right? You fall, and then you're done. Caribbean quiet. Then another little thingy-ma-bobber. This is Friday, November 4th at 8 a.m. Then, this is where it kind of gets interesting. November 6th, you've kind of got a little indicator up here near Bermuda. You've got a little indicator near the Dominican Republic and Haiti, and then you've got another indicator way down, literally near South America. And it's just, the GFS is just trying to throw some lows around. Nothing really wanting to get going. An old elongated front there, but nothing really wanting to deepen anywhere near us. And then you've kind of got, at the very last frame, like 1, 2, just low pressure with maybe some kinks developing in it. So for now, that's good. Debbie says you're very lively this morning. Hey, I mean, it's, it's a Friday. Oh, geez. Kenneth posted me playing with my high school band. Oh, yeah. That's me from this year playing Johnny's Mambo. All right. Let's switch over and look at the European model. Scroll it down. All right, let me show you guys and gals. European model showing something lifting past Bermuda. We knew that. Something down in the Caribbean, pulsing up and pulsing down near Jamaica. We knew that. In line with the GFS. Now, this is where, the 5th, the European kind of tries to bring lowered pressure into the Bahamas. That'll be interesting to see. Nothing really impressive. Here around the 10th, developing something and pulling it away from us. And that's about it. That's all we got. So at least tropically, relatively quiet. Now, let's look at all of the ensemble members, because remember, just looking at one operational model only tells one part of the story, right? When you look at the ensemble members, you kind of get a wide variety of all of the indicators. Essentially, the ensembles, think of it as, this is the GFS ensemble. It's 27 or 50 different versions of the GFS. So you can kind of get an idea for where things may be. So you kind of get a couple of indicators in the Caribbean around the 2nd and the 3rd, right? And then notice they're kind of bringing it out and away. But, there's some indicators that there may be some activity even over toward Florida or into the Gulf of Mexico, right? You can kind of see that around the 10th, 11th, the 12th. Oh, it's a trash truck outside. I'm like, what's going on outside? So GFS, around the 12th, still keeping with some members bringing low pressure around. So there's that. European. John's asking, where's Al? I was not able to get Al this morning, but we are still working on getting Al. So we're working on it. All right, ensemble members for the European, showing some stuff in the Caribbean. Still going with some activity, trying to get going around the 10th, 11th, 12th of November in the Caribbean. Nothing major, but there's some indicators. So, what that just tells me is as we head into November, we are still not done with hurricane season yet. And a very important point for us to make. Hurricane season runs through the end of November, so keep that in mind. Who's Al? Al Roker? You may know him from the Today Show. Yeah, I'm doing a walk with him on Tuesday, and while Coffee Talk's going to be different on Tuesday, I can tell you Al wants to be a part of Coffee Talk. We were trying to I may be able to tape something with him later today. We're working with the NBC folks on that. But if not, Al wants to, during the walk or after the walk, get on Coffee Talk. So there are some fun things. There are some fun things ahead. Yeah, I'm excited about that. All right. Anyway, let's look at the 7-day forecast, my friends. Couple of showers next couple of days. That's fine. Halloween's looking fine. You know what's frustrating? The BSR showed a cold front coming through this weekend, and it is. It's just not throwing us any cooler air. Dagnabbit. Oh, well. It is what it is. At least we're nice and dry for Halloween. And frankly, the next couple of days, aside from a couple of showers, we're looking great. Really looking great. Nikki says, if you're looking for something fun and free to do tonight, San Lando UMC in Longwood has our 3rd annual Folk Fest concert at 7. Our band will be playing covers of Johnny Cash, John Denver, Chris Stapleton, and others. Ooh, plus some Southern folk gospel type stuff. Hot cider and donuts after the concert. That sounds like a lot of fun. I love it. I love it. Love that. That sounds so fun. Good stuff. Good, Robert. Excited for you, buddy. Sharon says, that's awesome. Love Al Roker. My goal, if I can get him live, that would be the best, because then you can ask Al questions. We're working on it. All right, but again, the TV business, you just kind of have to roll with things. So yeah, Sharon, is it ever going to actually get cooler outside? It already did. We'll get back there. We're just kind of having to play catch up a little bit. That's okay. What are you going to do? All right, listen. Thank you all for hanging out for Coffee Talk. Thank you so much. Be the sunshine in someone's day. I will see you guys and gals at 3:30 today for the afternoon Coffee Talk. All right? Sound good? Sound good. Bye, y'all.